Sabrina, and I'm going to be talking to you about MSK and proper ergonomics. So I want to start off by telling you that when you're sitting in a chair, you want to have your thighs parallel to the floor and your back all the way up against the chair so it'll give you support on your back. And you want to have good posture because that will help you prevent some injury to your back or your shoulder. And you can stand during these exams as well, and you can adjust your screen accordingly, but since I'm sitting, it's going to be down. It's going to be parallel with my line of vision. And also, you want, when you're doing an exam, you're going to adjust the height of your bed according to how high you need it depending on your patient. And when your patient is laying on the bed, you want them to be as close to you as possible so that you're not reaching over them and causing strain to your arm. And now I'm going to show you the proper gloves that you should use. It just depends on how big your hands are, but I use a small because they fit snugly on my hand. You don't want really loose gloves. If I'm grabbing the transducer, I want to be able to hold it and not worry about my gloves being too loose and messing up my movement and my technique. So you want them to be snug so that you can grip your transducer properly and not have to use too much grip and possibly strain your wrist. Now I'm going to talk to you about patient positioning. When you have your patient on the bed, you want them to move as close to you as possible, like I mentioned before, just so that you don't have to reach as much as if they were hanging off the bed. So when you're scanning things like the liver, gallbladder, or right kidney, you want your patient's right arm to be up towards their head, just so that this area will be stretched out enough so that you'll have a better window and you can get your images better. And the same thing would go with your left hand if you're imaging the spleen or the left kidney. And also when you're scanning, you would like to have some kind of support, whether it's from like a rolled up towel that you set next to your patient or a wedge. I've seen someone use a wedge to prop their arm up or even prop the patient up depending on what they're using it for. And sometimes I see sonographers actually use the patient as support because you need to be as comfortable as possible when you're doing these exams so you don't cause any stress or strain on your arms. And when you are doing these exams, 8-hour shift, you want to take frequent breaks. You don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over because that can get repetitive, that can cause strain, that could cause some kind of musculoskeletal injury. And also when you get home, if you're still feeling something, or even if you're not, you can use stretch bands just to make sure those muscles are getting the proper stretching that they need and so that they're not getting tense or creating some kind of strain on your arm or your shoulder or whatever you've been using frequently that day.